Hi there, I'm Spyro, and when I'm not spending my time roasting baby lambs, there's nothing better than roasting old beloved PS1 games. Not mine, of course. Mine are gems. Crash Bandicoot, what an overrated pile of shickers. A shipload of shickers. I bet you thought we were good buddies or something. No. We met once. Suffice to say, it didn't go well. Mostly due to him trying to murder me. No, I never liked that.
Brainless orange marsupial.
What even is he? A bandicoot?
He isn't a bandicoot.
We all know that's not a real word. He's clearly just a swiper ripoff.
He's a sort of man-looking dude.
So, welcome my thoughts on why the original Bandicoot video game trilogy is not only one of the worst things to come out of video games since Shaq Fu, but also one of the worst things to come out of original trilogies since Star Wars, not the original trilogy. And that kart racer was was also not fun game. It sucks, alright. Let's start off with the first game.
Dr. Ned Cortex
and Dr. Fissure's experiment with all these animals.
We have not determined the cause of past failures.
So, are all these guys failures? They seem pretty loyal to me. What would you consider a failure, Ned? Your medical career?
The vortex is not ready.
Listen to your wife, Ned. Consent matters. Also, if it's not ready, then why are you using it before? Or, if it wasn't ready before, and it's not ready now, aren't you gonna get another failure? If I took a test without studying the topic, I'm not gonna succeed just because on this occasion I said,
This time I will succeed.
Failure again.
I don't think anyone was ever skeptical about Cortex's insanity, but he literally just defined the word. Maybe that's why one of the islands is called N.Sanity. He's honestly named 2 of the 3 islands after himself. Also, where did he get that picture to use as a computer symbol for the Bandicoot? Was that the mugshot from when he was captured and arrested? Wow, if Crash was brain dead then, what exactly did the Vortex do to him? Uh-oh. Yeah, that probably wasn't the best path to take there, Crash. Especially considering Cortex is somehow already out there. Maybe the Vortex made Crash lose his sense of direction. Because that would explain the wonky controls in the entire rest of the game. Oh, man! In fact, that theory covers some past failures too.
Prepare the female Bandicoot.
Yeah, makes sense. You know, the first one failed, the second one is sure to work. So, let me get this straight. Crash fell out of this window and washed up ashore here, and survived? I know he doesn't swim because Bandicoots can't swim unless they're wearing scuba gear. You know, just like Hunter hates water unless he's wearing scuba gear. It's all about the gear, people. Now, Crash has to make it all the way back to the castle in order to save his girlfriend from being experimented on. Because, obviously, Cortex plans to wait until Crash gets back before he does that, despite the fact that he was preparing it literally 3 seconds after Crash left. No chance that happened in the time it took Crash to wash ashore 2 islands away. Not that it would have done anything. I'm sure if Crash just waited at the beach, he'd probably wash up soon enough anyway. Not coming? So the rest of the game involves Crash navigating through the islands to get to a teleport at the end, which then takes him to another part of the island? Where did they even come from? Where did they even come from? Did Cortex install them to get around quicker? If so, he could have signposted them. They all look the same, but you've got no idea where they lead. Are we just running around trying to find one teleport that'll take us to the next island? Like, it'd be quicker to build a boat or something. The shortest distance between you and your destination is a straight line. I can't imagine it would take that long to completely pass Island 2 to get to Island 3. You know, what do you know? There's a boat there already. It's a bit decrepit, but it shouldn't be too hard to fix up nice and smooth like. Crash is pretty good at breaking this wood apart, and you could probably find some shit-ahs and machinery.
What? It's funny.
So there's virtually no variety in this game. I mean, even if you consider yourself a big fan of Crash Bandicoot, can you honestly tell me the name of this level? Or this one? Or this one?
This one, or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one.
They all blend together.
What are you doing?
Alright, the game's only been mildly challenging so far, and I'm already on the last level of Island 1, which, by the way, is almost exactly the same as the level earlier on. So, I had to spin this, and then spin that one above it, while standing on it. Okay, this shouldn't be too hard. Alright, there's more of them. Okay, I can do this, it's just a pattern. Oh, come on! You expect me to make that jump right after I've done that? Keep it cool, Spyro, just a little further. The main problem with this game is how slow it is. Really is freaking slow.
Look at
My games, wide open, fast as a coursing river, it gives you the force of a great typhoon and the strength of a raging fire.
now back to
Bandicoot, short and narrow. Size matters, Crash, trust me. I mean, how can anyone claim this incredibly precise and unforgiving game is a good use of your time?
Actually, it's pretty fun.
You do get health of sorts in the form of Woody McWooderson.
Woody McWooderson's here.
Oh, and don't even think about comparing Woody to my buddy Sparks over here. You'll always be on my side, pal, right?
Ha ha. You will unleash loaded balls of gas everywhere.
Yeah. Do you start off with Woody? No, you have to find him in crates. What kind of game starts you off with no health, it requires you to find health while navigating death traps? Apart from that one.
What are you doing?
Holy cannoli!
What's Woody doing in a random box? Why doesn't he get damaged when the crates are destroyed? He's made of wood, isn't he? Is anyone gonna answer my questions? Come to think of it, use him in the boat, put him to good use. Throughout your game, you come across a number of Cortex's failures, like King Kong, Blue's Clues, Thin Tony, Credible Hulk Hogan, Big Fat Belly, Fat Guy with Stick. And finally, you reach Dr. Nedwood.
Crash Bandicoot.
So, did Cortex name him Crash Bandicoot when he found him? Or did he come up with the name then and there? And what kind of teleport takes you to the top of a blimp? Aside the blimp, sure, it seems a great idea actually. It'd be pretty nifty getaway plan. I don't know why you make a getaway in a blimp, but still. Did Cortex think it through, or was it planned for Crash so he could knock him off to his death? If so, why didn't he set the teleport to send him in the middle of the ocean or something? That'd get rid of him. Actually, he'd probably just wind up back at the shore. Just pilot the airship. Kamikaze the castle or something, I don't know. Speaking of which, you might want to turn around, Cortex. There may be more important issues at hand here than slowly shooting at one of your irrelevant failures. You should at least get a faster firing weapon, get it out of the way and focus on the flames engulfing your home. In fact, why not get Thin Tony's rapid fire gun? Crash ain't got no bulletproof furniture to stand behind this time. I don't know, maybe Cortex genuinely enjoys the challenge of the final boss fight. Can't blame him for that. Just make sure it's not too challenging. I guess we'll move on to the second game now. Picks up exactly where the first game left off, with Cortex falling to his death. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Not a single broken bone? Not even a scratch. Oh, okay, never mind. You clearly messed up your face a bit there.
Of course.
And your voice box too. Was that the screaming, or did the near-death experience rapidly mature you? Or maybe you swallowed the camera. So, Cortex finds a crystal. Just exactly where he landed? Oh, Simpsons reference. Did anyone pick up on that when playing this as a kid? If you did, how dare you watch The Simpsons under the age of 12? Unless you were 12 when you first played this game, but that would make you over 30 now. What are you doing on YouTube?
Don't you have lives?
1 year later. Yeah, months of hospital care after that fall. It took a few days for the injuries to really kick in.
We need not only your master crystal, but also the remaining 25 slave crystals.
It took you a whole year to realize you didn't have 25 key components for your experiment? Sure was lucky you just stumbled onto this so-called master crystal a year ago then.
Do you think I'm unaware of the situation?
Yes. Yes, I do. And also,
Who the frick is this?
It sure is boring around here.
My boy.
If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we need to find friends on the surface.
so apparently all of Ned's previous failures have declined as constant friend requests.
You don't have any friends!
So it's only logical to befriend the one failure who never trusted you in the first place.
Of course!
Cortex captures Crash as he's strolling through the jungle looking for a laptop battery for his sister Coco. Yes! Yes! Finally, 17 years of searching. It was all worth it. I found one! Wait. Asus? No. It's not compatible with Toshiba! It's not compatible with Toshiba! Who's Coco? I don't know. Did Cortex try Bandicoot yet again? At least Coco isn't brain dead, so that was an improvement, I guess. I'm honestly somewhat impressed, Cordy.
Don't call me Cordy.
But what exactly makes one Bandicoot his girlfriend and one his sister? Was she his sister before Cortex experimented on him? What happened to his girlfriend anyway? Or are they both the same person? Hell, they're rodents. I doubt they care.
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I f***ing hate video games. Because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
Cortex claims he's trying to save the world this time, not destroy it. Yeah, great, except we know he's lying. Not only was it revealed in the first cutscene, but the game is also called Cortex Strikes Back.
Yeah, giveaway.
Basically, he's got all these portals set up to take you wherever the crystals are. Oh no, I'm sorry, about 5 miles from where the crystals are. My apologies again. About 8 kilometers from where the crystals are. If you were the one who set up the portals, couldn't you just take me directly to the crystal? In fact, why aren't you getting them? Is your big head stuck in space so all you can do is shove it in my face every 3 seconds?
Such a big head!
Through each door lies a well-hidden crystal.
They're not hidden. They're right out in the open. You just put me 8 kilometers away from it.
The crystals look like this.
Wow, I'm not really buying this whole Master Crystal thing. It looks exactly the same as the 25 slave crystals you sent me to collect.
Crystals, Crash!
So, it's the same as the first game, really. Do some levels, fight a boss. Who are these failures working for exactly? Is it Hogan? Are they only fighting you because they think you're working with their ex-overlord? It at least makes some sense into insanity, but here, I can't tell who's on my side, who's against me, and who just doesn't care either way. I didn't mention this in the last game, so I'll say it here. The boulder levels are nonsense. All they're trying to pull is some kind of Indiana Jones thing here. That's a movie. Indy can see where he's going. The audience can't. It's tense when all they can see is a giant boulder towering over our protagonist. This is a video game. The audience of Crash Bandicoot isn't watching Crash Bandicoot. They are Crash Bandicoot. They need to see where they're going. Imagine trying to drive like this. This is fun.
Very fun.
I think you still know there's a giant threat constantly approaching whether it's on screen or not. Better yet, do side-scrolling. Crash Bandicoot, the game that took side-scrollers and put the camera behind the character. It's still like 30% side-scroll. Well, at least that way you can have both the boulder and the clear visible path on screen at the same time.
But Spyro!
I hear you cry.
It's a good challenge. It tests your reaction time.
It's running blind into obstacles and pits, and you know it. I had no doubt some of these were put here at random too. Some boost pads shoot you right into a hole.
We interrupt this program to bring you...
Here's your order, sir. A fry-up, including fried egg, fried bread, fried bacon, fried sausages, fried mushrooms, fried tomato, fried beans, and on the side, fries.
I've ordered the roast.
How exactly does one spin while hanging from a railing? Or while underground?
Magic.
Remember how I said these games were short and narrow? Well, newsflash! Crash! The solution to that is no unclear branching paths. I don't know which way to go. I decided to go right because I figured it must be right. It's the right decision, right? There are more crates in this direction. I must be on the right track here. But lo and behold, I finished level with no crystal and no gem.
You furry simpleton!
Well, maybe you shouldn't have relied on your biggest failure to help you destroy the Earth. Oh, I mean, save the Earth. So, the crystal's apparently this way, but there's crates in both directions, which means backtracking. I've already let out my steam for this, so let's just move on. In this level, we appear to have another path choice. Okay, well, there's a Wumpa trail leading off to the left. With the small amount of brain cells I still have after playing this game for hours, I assume that this was the way the game wanted me to go. Logic, therefore, dictated that the path on the right led to an extra, quote-unquote, secret section of the level. But, yet again, I eventually reached the end of the level with no crystal.
No, Crash! Crystals!
Guess we're heading to the left this time. Ah, it's literally just a dead end with a crystal. Huh. Forgive me for not trusting a game that hides its secret areas and totally unsuspicious looking pits. No sarcasm. Nobody would think jumping in after the bear would be a responsible course of action. Near the end of the game, you have 3 jetpack levels. These are, without a doubt, the most tedious levels in all 3 games. You just have to go slow. That's it.
Oh, folks, I let go.
In these levels, you gotta think about not only forward, backward, left and right, but also up and down. These hazards are everywhere. There's exposed wires, lasers in every direction. You've got floating mines in the space station. In space! A space station in space! With big glass windows. In space! has little mines just floating around in space. I'm not even gonna ask what the hell this guy is or what he's doing. Anyway, Dr. Hogan does show up and tries to convince you to join his side and defeat Cortex by collecting gems. If there's one thing old Spyro here knows how to do, it's do that. Except I don't, because some of them take a lot of work, actually, to find a way to get them. Like, this red gem here, can't reach it. So instead, you gotta go to this level, not jump on the jet ski, waste a ridiculous amount of lives jumping from this crate to the platform, get taken to the secret warp room on the roof, then take the secret entrance into the original level, platform your way through this icy death course, then collect the red gem. And don't make my mistake, because you then need to finish the rest of the level, and if you can actually manage to follow that, then you're actually gonna kick yourself when I tell you that you can just do this.
Rule 1 of Crash Bandicoot. Don't play it.
So at this point, who do you trust, Ned or Hogan? If you trust Ned, you have to collect all the crystals. If you trust Hogan, you have to collect all the gems. And all the crystals.
Crystal!
Yeah, you actually gotta help Cortex before you can beat him. And how do you beat him? You chase him through a tiny space obstacle course and hit him 3 times before he reaches this blue thing. They give you the slowest, most ridiculous, and most inexperienced part of the game and turn it into a boring, fast boss fight. Boss fights are supposed to put everything you've learned throughout the whole game into one challenge against a foe you've finally gotten the chance to confront. They could have done something great with the final boss, and they just made a clunky jetpack race. Also, I'm not sure what exactly happened story-wise to warrant this boss. When did Crash realize Cortex was lying this whole time? I mean, we did have to fight his current life partner, N.Sane. See what he did there? By throwing a seemingly endless amount of fruit from our pants at his, Transformers cosplay.
Robots you dislike?
Ned sending in him to get the crystals from us with that thing should have been a big giveaway that Cortex was apparently still an evil genius like he always has been. But why do we still collect the last 5 crystals? Hogan doesn't need them. His machines only run on those Duracell gem things. Is it just like Crash is trapped here so he essentially has to fall through? Cause Crash, there's a way to get to the roof. Based on past experience, you should be able to easily get home from here. Then again, Ned will probably just pick you up again. Next time your sister forgets to recharge her laptop she's got from God knows where. Maybe it's best to just do the chase. I won! I might be being too hard on this. After all, there is a 100% ending. Maybe we can fight him for real if we can be bothered to get all the gems. Nope, if you get every gem, you can blow up his space station. Yeah, great idea. Send a bunch of molten space junk hurtling towards Earth. I can only hope Cortex was inside at that time. And that's a nice segue into the third game. A chunk of space station lands on an ancient temple and releases Woody's brother, so he blew up the temple and released a demon. I'm not saying it's anyone's fault, Hogan, but I mean, it's your fault.
You f***ing idiot!
Woody's brother, let's call him Buzz, is apparently the mastermind behind Ned's plans from the last 2 games. I don't remember anyone mentioning this before. Because Ned failed twice, Buzz is now gonna overview this entire thing on his 3rd try. Dr. Nefarious built a time machine thing so they can collect crystals from the past and the future. Doesn't that create some sort of time paradox? If you collect crystals from the past, then they're not there to collect in Crash 2. I mean, as Buzz says himself.
There is no other power source.
Surely there are only 26 crystals in existence, right?
Crystal!
Also, what exactly happened to those crystals from Crash 2? Did we give them to Cortex to power some machine on the space station or something? If it were me, the wreckage would be the first place to look. This game introduces a bunch of new vehicles and stuff. They're all too hard to control and or get used to. Now, I'm a reasonable reptile, I'll admit it. My 3rd game is guilty of this too. But at least it makes some sense why I would need to use certain vehicles to complete certain tasks that would help me find another Diddy Dragon. Let me ask you this. Why exactly do I need to win a race to get a crystal? Especially since I'm the only one riding a motorcycle. Everyone else is in a car. How's this fair?
Dragon?
Shooting every blimp somehow gives you a crystal. Was the last one I shot holding onto it? Did it fall into my plane as the guy inside plummeted to his death? If not, we've got some more wreckage to go through. Like I said earlier, scuba gear enables Crash to swim. It's all about the gear, people. I seem to recall the problem being him not knowing how to swim, not being able to breathe underwater, but physically not knowing how to move in the water. They don't go hand in hand. Anyone can swim without having gills, and anyone can have an oxygen tank strapped to their back and still sink to the very bottom of the ocean. And no, I don't mean the oxygen tank is heavy.
Keep your horns on, Spyro!
The ocean floor
is in fact where the crystal is. Why not just use a submarine? Never mind, don't do that. Tomb Waitor. Huh. I thought Titans had some bad puns, but this is pinnacle. Without a doubt, the stupidest part of the game is the remakes. To get remakes, you have to do time trials. You go through each level again, but with a timer. You're probably thinking,
Spyro, you said the games are too slow. Why are you complaining about the mechanic that makes the game more fast-paced?
Doesn't it bother you guys that you don't know anything?
It doesn't make it fast-paced because you still have to travel through the level exactly the same way. You have to wait for enemies, time your jumps correctly, and be careful where you step. Timing uses nothing to change that, and thus is absolutely pointless. It's the equivalent of turning the heat up to cook food faster. More often than not, we'll just burn the food. And you'll have time trials in every level, even these levels. Am I missing something here? Because it seems like the time would be almost exactly the same every time you play through this level. Literally, the only way to physically stop moving is to get hit by something and die. It's ridiculous! Now, if there were time trials in my games, that would make sense. Imagine charging through these levels trying to get the best time, finding small little shortcuts and figuring out the quickest way to get to the end. That would be fun. But trying to do this in a certain amount of time is not. There's 3 types of relics: Sapphire, Gold, and Platinum. Each are progressively harder to get, with each one a shorter time limit than the last. Makes sense, right? Well, there are 28 relics to collect in order to get a 100% ending, 1 for each of the main 25 levels and the extra 3 levels in the secret warp room. But here's the deal, bucko. It doesn't really matter which type of relic you get in a single level. It still counts as 1 to your total relics. A gold relic is worth just as much as a sapphire relic, and a platinum relic is also worth just as much as a sapphire relic. There's absolutely... That's what? That's not a word.
Read it.
There's absolutely no point whatsoever in trying to get the gold or platinum relics when you can just settle with sapphire. Alright, maybe I can be a little bit more positive in the review. At least the bosses in this game aren't terrible. No, I mean it. They're kinda cool. The final boss is the same as Crash 1's final boss, with the added obstacle of Woody and Buzz blowing each other up.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
His weapon still sucks though, firing only once every 3 seconds this time. Luckily, he came prepared with a force field and a backup weapon. The only problem is, after using the backup weapon, he, for some reason, has to disable that force field. So, all you need to do is wait for him to run out of ammo, then Sparta kick him into the time machine, and then all of time is destroyed. Good job, everyone!
You did it!
Well done.
I don't even want to talk about this game. How the hell do you even turn and do drifts and things? Is it square? I've never understood it. It's probably not square. Is it square? At least the Crash Bandicoot series got a little bit better from here on out. We had some great games like Wrath of Cortex, Twinsanity, Tag Team Razmig, Titans, and Mob. At least the future doth look bright for Bandicoot.
The original Crash, Crash 2, and Crash Warped. Fully remastered from the ground up for PlayStation 4.
A remake of the first 3 games. That's awesome. Everyone else saying this should be awesome.
I missed you, Crash.
Yeah, geez, I don't feel comfortable disclosing my cultural background. Is there a prefer not to answer option? Don't treat me like a game idiot. Can you actually use that? Can you please use that? Don't treat me like a game idiot.